Hello everybody, June 24th, 2022. I've been looking forward to doing this video all week. We finally have what we need to see from Bitcoin. It's been a long 6 months waiting for this to finish its correction, but I believe we have now seen a bottom. So on Monday, I had said that the best case scenario at that time was for Bitcoin to push up into this 21.5 to 22K area, and that would give us a decent 5-wave impulse off the low and give me about 70% confidence that the bottom is already in. That would then make a large degree first wave up, and then we're going to enter a second wave pullback that we can buy with pretty high confidence. So the alternate bear scenario, obviously, we don't need to worry about right now because this actually played out. So we're going to go ahead over to the Bitcoin chart and take a look. So on Monday, we were right around, I think that what I have labeled as a B wave top. I believe this was Monday here, somewhere in that region. Anyway, and we needed to see this. We needed to see this region right here hit before seeing the pullback in order to really count this as a completed correction. But we did see that hit on, I think, Tuesday. It didn't take long. And then we saw the pullback into this green zone right here for our wave 2. So that's looking really, really good as well. Now, the question is, have we begun the third wave up yet? Or are we going to take another dip down into this support box? And at the moment, you can't really say for sure. Looking at many of the alt charts, many of which we are in, by the way, in the group Trade Like a Whale, they are breaking out more directly. Like, to be perfectly honest, this doesn't actually look like a completed correction. It could be. I was expecting maybe a little further down into that zone to make it more complete looking. And so I always have to just be a little bit aware of the possibility that maybe we get this expanded flat correction. It could even slightly break the high and then come back down into support before going up. But at this point, I do view any dips as opportunities to buy. We loaded up a few more longs anyway. Obviously, spot buys I've been doing all the way down. I'm now 100% back into crypto at this point. And I've even got some leverage longs that we picked up here as it went into this support zone. And if it comes back down, I'll leverage long even more. That's fine by me. If not, I'll ride the longs that I did pick up, and that's fine as well. Because we will always have another opportunity to do leverage longs, right? My main focus was trying to get the spot buys. That's the majority of the portfolio is going to be in spot buys, and then leverage trading should really just be used to kind of supplement that. And I'm going to use it mostly as scalps. I don't really think I'm going to hold a leverage position from here all the way up to 100K. That doesn't really even make sense. You're going to pay funding the entire way up. So for me, spot buys are the long-term holds. Leverage is going to be like, okay, I'm going to leverage long to that target, right? And then I'll probably take most of the profits there. And then when we come down for a fourth wave, then I will leverage long up to that target, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at right now as far as strategy goes. But let's just draw a fib extension here, assuming that we have seen the bottom, which it seems likely at this point. We do need to see it continue to follow the expected path. If it deviates from that expected path, if it breaks any of the rules, then we're going to need to get a little bit more cautious. But as of right now, as I said, this looks like a really, really promising setup. So we're going to get rid of some of this. This was just like lines in the sand on the way down that probably don't really have much meaning any longer. So I'm just going to clean that up, get rid of them. All right. What we need to see for this third wave is a move up to this area between the 1382 and the 1618. That should be our first major stopping point for the third wave. And that is based on this projection between 26.4 and 27.7. So we have quite a bit of upside potential to come here. Once we see this sustained break of this first wave at 21.7, we should see that start to happen. That's at a minimum a 23% move, and potentially as much as a 30%, or I mean, it could extend. Third waves are always the strongest. And on top of that, this has been so oversold for so long that I would not be surprised at all to see an extension on that third wave as shorters just rush to cover their positions. So we can absolutely see that. I would not be caught dead trying to short during this time period. Third wave is going to be really, really strong, and not a wise idea to try to short unless you're an accomplished scalper and you've got impeccable risk management. Then have at it. But from there, then we should see a move back down. This is just a placeholder at this point, because really we can get a better target once the third is in place. Once we have a top in place, then we can get a better target for the fourth, but that's sort of a placeholder right there. Once we break out above this 1.0 extension, about 24.4, we really should never fall back below 22.5. So keep that in mind. Once we're over that 1.0 extension at 24.4, we do not want to see it come back down to 22.5, because that could indicate, if we just get this up to the 1.0 and then we start falling back down, that is a three-wave move. It breaks the impulse by breaking that 618, and we can still see a lower low at that point. That's one of the reasons that I say at this point, with this 5-wave impulse up, I am fairly confident, but I'm not 100% convinced yet. I've got about 70% chance, I would say, that the bottom is in. But assuming that we hold above that 22.5 area, once we get over the 1.0 extension, we should see fourth wave pullback and then fifth wave up. Right now, again, as a placeholder, because we can get a better target once the third is in place. Placeholder is right here around 28.6 to 30K. So at this point in time, the projection is saying that once these 5 waves play out, we should be at a minimum of 28.6K. That should be the minimum that this does, right? And that really makes sense as far as where something would top out, because this is substantial support that should now act as resistance the first time it's touched, right? So unless we see a gigantic short squeeze that pushes us really high through, which is a possibility, if this follows the normal path, it would make sense for that to be the topping point. But we'll continue to watch that and play it as it continues. So once this is in place, once we have all 5 of these waves at the larger degree in place, I'm going to up my probability of a bottom being in place already to 90%. Once we get this, that's a 90% chance we've already seen the bottom. We're not going to see another lower low, right? There's still a very slim possibility. Anything can happen. You never want to be completely sure about anything, but that is a very, very good sign if we can have this all play out. And from there, wherever this tops, we will then have a second wave pullback, which might be minor. Keep this in mind. We saw a very minor wave 2 here. It just got to the very top of that support zone. So we may see a minor wave 2 here as well. So we'll just need to keep that in the back of our minds. But once we get those 5 waves in place, we'll draw a fib up. We'll get the zone for that wave 2, and maybe we'll think about grabbing right around the top of the zone a little bit heavier than we normally would, just because that wave 2 was light as well. And Elliott waves tend to be fractal in nature, meaning if this wave 2 is shallow, the larger degree wave 2 may also be shallow. But that's pretty much the game plan, I think. We need to break 21.7, need to have a sustained breakout of it, and we should be well on our way into this 26 to 27K area, and then assuming we hold above that 618 area, we should see a move up closer to 30, and then a pullback from there is going to be an excellent, excellent place to buy, because that's going to start off the next move. That's going to be a major 1, major 2, and we can see a major third wave from that point. So really going to be at that point last stop to try to accumulate and or grab leverage longs for more of a longer term hold anyway. That'll be the last great chance to do it after these 5 ways fill in. All right, I believe that's all I have. So let's see where we are after this weekend. And take a look at this video. The macro picture of Bitcoin now is looking like potentially 130, even up to 200K is a possibility for the end of this bull cycle as long as this continues. So take a look at the suggested video there. Hit the subscribe button for me. Make sure you get all of the updates along the way. And if you're interested in trading altcoins or equities, stocks, gold, silver, whatever, you're going to want to go ahead and sign up for a free trial of the premium service for Trade Like a Whale. We do 2 weeks for free, so you can come in, check it out, and ask me any questions along the way. Happy to talk charts, any requested charts that you guys have. All right, everybody, you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you on Monday.